Natasha, and this is Riley Christensen, and we are both UVic geography students. This summer we were both presented with an amazing opportunity to leave the classroom and venture out into the field and study geography in Europe. This field school was focused on sustainable urban cities. While in Europe, we participated in hands-on learning, discovering the many ways in which people think about sustainability and the many visions that they have for their cities and communities. The idea of this field school, however, was not to learn abroad and keep the experiences to ourselves, but rather to bring our learning back to our communities. Riley and I were keen to come back to the Creston Valley to give back to a community that has given us so much. We decided to create a community green map in hopes of providing a clear visual way to showcase Creston's existing green spaces, as well as highlight possible future green spaces in a way that connects us to them. The town of Creston also presented us with an incredible opportunity to participate in the creation of a park along our main street. We were excited to use what we have learned over in Europe and our studies to inspire its development while implementing environmental and social sustainability.
During our field school, Natasha and I were both blown away with the public spaces we visited. We realized that the European definition of a park was much broader than that of an American park. Overall, they promoted inclusivity, fostered social interaction, and were a place that you just really wanted to hang out in. For example, Superkellen in Copenhagen was designed to promote inclusivity and celebrate diversity by including design elements from over 60 different nationalities. Vondelpark in Amsterdam fostered social interaction with its 10 million annual visitors. And in Rotterdam, the endless street art and seating along the canals and the greenways created an inviting space to socialize. These parks also incorporated elements of sustainable urban design, something we were really eager to see implemented in Creston.
So first off, what is community mapping? Community mapping can be defined as a geographic, learning development, and planning tool that connects people to one another and their home places. Creating a visual map helps to increase awareness of what currently exists within your community and what might be missing. Maps really help us to become spatially aware. The focus of our map is to create a simple representation of Creston's downtown core and highlight Creston's public spaces, places of art, music, and most importantly, green spaces. Community maps help connect people to these public places. They also identify areas that could be improved, as well as future possibilities and further opportunities to connect us to these places. For example, in Copenhagen, there was a bike-friendly greenway that was connected to one of our favorite parks, Superkellen. From the Creston Community Green Map, we can see that there are many green spaces. However, they are not as well connected as they could be and experience lower visitation levels as a result. Bruges and Antwerp have fantastic community maps really geared towards young adults. These maps included handy local tips, areas to eat, where the nightlife might be, and fun amenities such as bike rental locations. Drawing inspiration from these maps, we created icons to represent sites and services specific to our community. For example, we included icons that included locations such as art and local art shops in the area. Green maps are incredibly useful tools for developing inclusive, collaborative community plan. Developing a map with local input helps to improve the quality of the map, inherently building a sense of community. It creates places rather than spaces by really grounding people in the areas that they live, work, and play in. The map that Riley and I have created has the ability to be built upon and shared with the Creston community. In doing so, this process has the potential to create even more functional green spaces and green networks.
To complement our mapping project, we were also very fortunate to have the opportunity to submit design input to the town for our new green space in Creston's downtown core. Our main goal for the Community Green Map was to learn how Creston's current public spaces are connected and areas of the network that could be improved. This new park filled a void of the lack of green space in Creston's downtown core, and we really wanted to see some of the main themes we experience in parks in Europe implemented here. Inspired by our experiences during our field school and by participants during public consultation, we came up with an overall general layout for the park as well as some more specific design suggestions. Ideas included a green wall, recycled tire flower planters, a mini performance stage, xeriscape gardens, a butterfly garden, and a community painting project. Inclusion and accessibility were really evident in European parks where we saw people of all ages and abilities enjoying the public space in their own way. So it became one of our top priorities for this park. Another key concern was reducing environmental impacts from the urban environment, including urban heat island effect and noise pollution. Our plan focused on using mainly recycled material and a variety of community art projects to create a small but vibrant park at a relatively low cost. We also developed a plant guide for colorful 3-season flower gardens that incorporated native and drought-tolerant vegetation. Work has started on the park to date, and citizens of Creston are looking forward to seeing the park develop over time.
Community mapping and other citizen-led mapping projects are not only beneficial in identifying important local sites and services, but also in engaging citizens and promoting a vibrant and sustainable community. Processes of creating a map really helps to promote social interaction by fostering intergenerational relationships and community spirit. The map Riley and I created is just one example of what a map of Creston's public spaces could look like. But ideally, a community mapping project would involve many more participants than a couple university students. I hope this map can serve a purpose by inspiring Creston to engage in more community mapping projects like this, while also highlighting the importance of meaningful public spaces for a community.
A future community map might choose to focus on other elements beyond public spaces, such as sustainable practices, natural areas, important historical and cultural areas, or challenges and issues that are affecting the community. The list really is infinite, and a great resource for a future community mapping project would be the Mapping Our Common Ground guide produced by the UVic Community Mapping Collaboratory. This guide includes endless sources of inspiration and expertise in designing community maps, from best practices for public participation to digitizing a map. Natasha and I are also willing to help out in any way we can, and we recognize that the Creston Community Green Map is by no means the end product. We hope that this map provides Creston with a jumping off point to create new maps with new areas of focus, add to the Creston Community Green Map, as well as provide an opportunity to engage the Creston community as a whole. And lastly, we would really like to extend our sincerest thanks to Ken Josephson and Cam Owens for supporting us through this legacy project all the way from Victoria, as well as Lou Varela, Ross Beddoes, and Jen Comer for supporting us here in Creston.
Thank you!